welcome back to this Team Lotus F1 Manager series as we are in that sort of autumn break window as we now have 25 days till Austin. And I would say this is an opportunity for us to get some more design work on the car and really try and push to secure that driver and constructors championship. The biggest issue we have is down in the bottom right here, which is we only have $3 million or just under $3 million. So we haven't really got much money to play with. So I'm not sure how much design work we'll do. Hopefully we've got a sponsor objective coming in, which might inject a couple more $1 million. But we've now got 6 races to go in this 2026 season. As I say, next up is COTA, which will actually be the final sprint as well. So it's a sprint weekend. That will be the final sprint. As we know, we have changed the calendar a little bit for this season. So as I say, COTA is going to be the final sprint. Then we're into Mexico, Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and we will finish in Brazil. So just 6 races to go. And we're looking very good. Last time out in Singapore, Alonso, very unlucky. He was taken out of the race by Max Verstappen. So Daniel Ricciardo coming into this one had about 50 points. He's in first in the Drivers' Championship. He had about 50 points on Fernando. He had about 60 odd on Yuki Tsunoda and about 70 odd on Max Verstappen. So those 4 were still in contention, but Max Verstappen took himself and Alonso out of the race. So 2 of those 3 competitors with Daniel Ricciardo out of the race, and Yuki Tsunoda took a grid penalty, and he only managed to finish 6th. So Ricciardo did get a podium, so not a win, not a second place, but he'll take a podium because he got a points advantage on all of his rivals. And what that has done is really looking good now for Daniel Ricciardo in the Drivers' Championship, as we see it there. So he's got a very healthy lead now. And it's, what, 90 points? Near enough 90 points on Max. So you have to say Max is out of the running now, really, with 6 races to go, unless something extraordinary happens with Danny Rick. Yuki Tsunoda in third is about 70 plus points back. So again, that's looking a little bit too far. And even Fernando Alonso just under 70 points back. So it's looking really good now for Ricciardo to win this Drivers' Championship. And we're looking very good in the Constructors as well. But if you are enjoying this series or you're jumping in for the first time, please do subscribe to the channel. If you can do me a massive favour and hit that like button, really does help me out. The likes mean a hell of a lot to me, so please do press that like button. But as I say, we've got quite a bit potentially to do off track, and then we'll be heading to Austin for the final sprint of this 2026 season. So yet another driver development update this month, and again, no change for our 2 old boys. So looking good on that front. The end of the month has just passed, so we've had a little bit of a cash injection there. So let us set up another design and let us maybe go for a suspension then, and we'll go 1.0 on the CFD and we'll go 15 wind tunnel. We'll drop this minimum lifespan right down. And where are we looking on the grid here? We're 5th on medium speed, so that could do with an increase. I'd just go with that, to be honest with you. 1 engineer, $1 million. And let us also do another chassis maybe. And we'll use the rest of our CFD and wind tunnel time on that. Minimum lifespan right down again. And we'll just go fully on the DRS and drag reduction. And again, 1 engineer, $1 million. And there we go. We've got 3 designs in the work again. Okay, so sponsor plan is completed, target achieved, and we've brought in $2 million. Did we have any mandatory? We did, so we've got a good bit of cash there. It doesn't actually go in when that comes through, I've noticed, because we got the money on the 1st of the month. So, yeah, a little bit delayed getting that, but there you go. We have reached the sponsor plan. We can set up another one. Colapinto, yes, we wouldn't mind him doing that. Pit crew fatigue, we don't really want that. Race engineer interview, yes, we can go for that. And Nobles, yes, you could do a non-race appearance, and that should meet the target, so let's go with that. Okay, so if you've been following this series, you know that we're not really continuing this next year. It's not going to be the main series that we stream, but we might keep it going in the background and keep some episodes going. And Alonso, contract expires at the end of the season. We're not going to retain him. And Danny Rick is off to Audi, I believe it is, isn't it? Yes, he's off to Audi. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to promote our affiliates, or we're going to try to. So, Arvad Limbad, we are going to go car 1 for next season. Let's give him a breakout multiplier. give us some cash. It's going to be very cheap. And let's do it immediately. Let's do it immediately. See if Lindblad wants to take that on. Yay, Arvid Lindblad has accepted then. So he would be our driver for 2027. Now let me just check that is for next season. It is. We're not going to replace Ricciardo. There we go. Lindblad, as we see it there, will replace Daniel Ricciardo in car 1 next season. Let's do the same for Alonso with Franco Colapinto. So we want him in car 2 next season. Let us put immediately. These drivers are going to be so much cheaper than our current lineup. We do a couple of seasons for Franco. Let's offer him that. He's definitely next season. Yes. He's declined. He didn't like the breakout multiplier. Next season. Yes, let's go with that. And he has accepted. So there we go. We do see some episodes, as Franco Colapinto shown there. If we do see some episodes going into 2027, we'll have a very young driver lineup, as we will have Arvid Lindblad and Franco Colapinto in the car for 2027. Okay, we've arrived at COTA then. The cars are ready to go, I believe. Yes, they are. Although the gearbox on that Fernando Alonso's car, we've just noticed through that accident, has been completely wiped out. So he's on his last gearbox. What else damage did that do, actually? We didn't actually look. Luckily, he's got good ERS left, and he should be all right on the engine front. So, yeah, just the gearbox that's taken a massive hit. We'll put that one on for practice. But, yeah, we are ready then to jump in to COTA. One practice session being a sprint weekend. So let's go 12 for hire Danny Rick, 9 for hire Fernando Alonso, and jump into practice. Okay, practice complete. It looks like Max Verstappen, unless this is going to change when we get to qualify, he might take a penalty, and that's probably because of the accident he caused on Fernando Alonso. So Max Verstappen already very unlikely to challenge for the Drivers' Championship. If he takes a penalty here, that's going to be even more unlikely. But we'll see as we get into full qualifying. But next is sprint qualifying, and in terms of practice setup, pretty good. We got Daniel Rick, of course, only one practice session here. We got him to 94% setup satisfaction. Car parts knowledge 64%. Obviously got quite a few new parts on the car during that sort of autumn break. So they're working their car parts knowledge up. Track acclimatization always down. Obviously only one practice session, so 35%. So currently at 79%. I think that'll be in the 90% range once we get through sprint quali and this track acclimatization comes up. Very similar, Fernando on car parts knowledge, track acclimatization a little bit down. That's because we went for a third iteration on his setup. He got to about 86%. So hopefully this final one will get him into the 90% margin. So I think after sprint quali, we should be pretty good to go. But let's see how we get on then as we head to sprint qualifying next. Right, get them out straight away here in the first sprint quali session. As we know, this can be a bit of a nightmare for traffic, this track, especially if you catch a car in the first sector. I'm hoping most of the grid come out straight away. But they're not all coming out, are they? Catching Magson, we might have caught him in an okay place. Let's see. Alonso. No, Alonso's lost a lot of time. So Ricciardo's time looks good. Alonso's going to have to go again.
And that's currently,
always an issue at COTA,
P1.
especially in sprint qualifying.
We're coming in.
But normal qualifying, you also have issues. So Alonso's going to have to go straight back out. Only one set of tyres, of course. Oh, there's loads of traffic again. Yeah. I think it's over. I think it's over. We won't have enough time to get in and out. So Fernando is going to be out. That's the problem here in COTA. Won't have enough time to get out, so we would have lost way too much time in that first sector. So Alonso's knocked out. Ricciardo safely through. But Alonso's going to start dead last in this sprint. And it gets a little bit easier in the second session because most go out pretty early. As you see, the whole grid is out, so now no traffic. Obviously in a bit of a bunch. We might catch Fittipaldi here. We have caught Fittipaldi, so it might not be ideal. No, 1.4 off. It's a bit of a struggle, isn't it, here? Ricciardo back out, and I think we're going to be pretty good for traffic this time round, and we're not going to be close enough to anyone to gain on them, so hopefully Ricciardo is going to go quicker, and he does. Whew, that was all a bit tight, wasn't it? Lewis Hamilton out in SQ2, so is George Russell. Look at the Williams of Ocon, though, in the top 10. We are through to SQ3 then. Ricciardo then underway his one and only lap here in SQ3, and we look pretty damn good for traffic this time. So certainly going to set green sectors because it's our only time in this session. Can we get any purples in here? Where can Danny Rick go? Leclerc puts it on provisional pole. Ricciardo is a green sector, no purple. And Norris looks like he's had a bit of a torrid time there because he's a second off pole and he's half a second off his teammate. As Verstappen now goes 3 tenths quicker than Leclerc. Ocon into P3 in the Williams. What a lap that is. He's going to start at least in the top 5, I think. Top 6. That's a great lap from Ocon. Still got Sainz and Hülkenberg to set times here, and ourselves. I think we're ahead of those two. So let's see. It's another green sector, so we don't really know where we're going to land here yet. I'd like to think we might be able to get ahead of Tsunoda into that top 4 would be nice. Oh, a hell of a lap from Ocon. I don't know if he benefited from a tow or if that's just the pace of the Williams round here this weekend. Nice to see a different car up there though. Ricciardo just the left-hander to do then. And then we'll see what time he sets. Where's Danny Rick going to place this Lotus? It is into the top 4. It is between Ocon and Tsunoda. Sainz has finished. What about Hülkenberg? Hülkenberg goes 5th, so it is 4th place for Ricciardo, but it's P3 for Esteban Ocon and Max Verstappen on pole for the sprint. Here we have it then, Verstappen, a great lap to put it on pole by 3 tenths. Leclerc second, but look at that, Ocon. I think he must have got a tow because, well, actually, you know, 32, yeah, he's quite a bit off in SQ2. But yeah, great lap from Ocon. P3, Ricciardo P4. Hülkenberg 5th, his RB teammate Tsunoda 6th, so 5th and 6th for the RBs. Bottas 7th for Mercedes. Piastri 8th, Sainz 9th, and Lando Norris 10th. So McLaren not having a good time of it round here. Let's jump into strategy then before getting underway in this sprint race. Okay, the soft can make it. It's a little bit quicker if we go light, but the problem is there's not any margin for error, and we've got to push a little bit early on to get the temps up. And although it says the medium is slower, that's on standard pace all the time. The only problem with this, it'd be nice on the game if you could do, you know, 5 laps. You could do segments within it. So, you know, where we've got the medium all the way, it'd be nice to say, right, for 10 laps, we're going to be standard. And then for the last 9 laps, we're going to go, you know, aggressive. Because all we can do is for the whole stint. It doesn't really give you a true reflection. So although it's saying it's slower, it probably isn't. Because we're going to push on a bit. And it just gives us a little bit more room for error. So I'm going to go mediums with both drivers then, as we head in and start this Grand Prix in COTA. Other thing to notice, Alonso's setup, that final one we did, is very good, 100%. So he set up very well. Ricciardo, we already knew, was at 94%. But Alonso is going to start at the back. Ricciardo P4 then, as we start this sprint race in COTA. Here we go then, 3 lights, 4, 5... And we're underway. Max Verstappen from pole. Looked like a little bit of a slow start from Leclerc there. Not sure. Didn't look like the greatest getaway. But our drivers, and we haven't put them on push. It's a schoolboy error.
Okay. Let's have a managed increase in pace.
Well, we get away with it because Ricciardo does jump Ocon on the start there. Everyone is on the mediums.
Okay, copy.
And Alonso's got past his junior, so to speak, the man he manages, a Bortoletto. And Ricciardo is all over Charles Leclerc here in the early stages, and it's 1.3 to Ocon, so maybe Ocon did get a toe in that qualifying session. And Hülkenberg's going to lose a bit of time there on him. And Ricciardo's going to have a go here on Leclerc. Danny Rick then. early on, having a good go, but Leclerc's got some slipstream on Max Verstappen. Ricciardo still going to send it on the inside. Can Leclerc stay for these two right-handers? No. Ricciardo up to P2. So a great opening lap from Ricciardo from P4 to P2. And now he needs to stay on Max Verstappen and keep the DRS, or get the DRS when it becomes enabled. Alonso has already made 3 overtakes, I think, now. I think this is up to 19th. But it's Bortoletto from the start, one other, and now K-Mag.
Let's go, guys.
Though, have we got this job done? Don't know. Let's see. No, he hasn't quite got that move done on K-Mag, but now he has. So yeah, he's passed Bortoletto, Lawson, and K-Mag in the opening lap. Can Alonso get some pace today to move into the points? Obviously, points is top 8. As we see it here, Fernando. All the start finish straight by the looks of it.
Let's go.
Ricciardo has got DRS here. I think he's going to be a little bit too far back on Max. Ocon has stayed in it though, hasn't he? And he's right on Leclerc. Alonso, DRS. Fittipaldi has got DRS on Albon, but it looks like Alonso's going to get by. Fittipaldi, though, doesn't want to give it up.
Car is off.
And Fittipaldi
2 cars out, a lot of debris.
doesn't give it up. We lose out. And what's happened here? Is this? I think this is behind us because Alonso's not gone up any position. No, it is ahead of us.
Corner. With not much room to move and the impact on the car,
Oh, very minimal contact.
Teams will no doubt be very keen to establish.
That's Bottas and Tsunoda. Yeah, Bottas and Tsunoda in 6th and 7th. So Alonso trying to get Fittipaldi there. Didn't quite work. Fittipaldi is not in the DRS of Pourchaire, though, so this would be a good opportunity. Ricciardo's got DRS again. Just about. Should be a better chance here for Fernando. No penalties given. Fernando is through then on Fittipaldi. Now he can push up to Théo Pourchaire. Yeah, and Ricciardo has DRS. Can he get past again into turn 1? Looking good for Ricciardo. He does. And again, we'll just go conserve on these tyres. Ooh, was there contact there? It's close. But again, Verstappen should get past us, but we're just building a bit of a tyre gap here. Look, 5% we've now got. So we're frustrating Max here. Same again, he can get past. We'll go on standard, stick with him, get the DRS. Ricciardo, same again then. Into turn 1.
Yeah, difficult to get close, mate.
Again, we're straight on conserve. There's Alonso. Well,
Okay,
joined that late, but Alonso
Recharge on.
is forcing out Russell there. Lovely job from Fernando. We take that. Here we go. This is the last corner before the start-finish straight. Oh, bold move from Fernando, and Russell will be saying he forced me out, left me no room. We're not getting a penalty for that. We are, what, 9 seconds.
You're doing good time management.
Okay.
Yeah, we're 9 seconds off the points here with Alonso. I don't quite think we're going to have the pace to get there. But he should get Théo Pourchaire very quickly. Verstappen's got back past us, and he's got the DRS to pull away there. So that's a little bit frustrating this time round. But we are going to get a slipstream. Come on, Fernando.
Okay, crack on.
Positivity. You're right up his gearbox here. There we go, Fernando. That should be job done on Théo Pourchaire. And that's 4 seconds to Gasly, though. And there's a little bit of a DRS train from Perez, Albon to Gasly. Only 6% for Fernando. He's got a little bit of tyre margin, so we'll just quickly use that. Alonso is all over the back of Gasly as Ricciardo and Verstappen continue to swap positions. Fernando Alonso on the inside, and he is through on Pierre Gasly. And next up the road is Perez. Although Gasly is staying in this. I don't know if we've got this done on Pierre. Fernando needs to continue to push. And it looks like we have got that done. So Perez up the road. Ocon is now down to 8th. But we are 8 seconds off 8th place. I don't think there's a chance of points for Fernando, but he's up 8 places, having a good little race out there. R2, well not R2, but our other driver continues to battle with Max here.
Keep your head down. You keep behind.
And we now got 10% tyre margin on Max. This is looking really good for Ricciardo here.
Drop the pace now, please.
Understood.
You're doing great.
Okay, Alonso on Sergio Perez, and this would be for 13th. And Alonso is through. Next is Alex Albon. Then it's a 4.5 second gap to Ocon, who unfortunately has tumbled down and is out of the points here in the sprint. Oh, and Alonso gets past Albon, forces him out wide, and Alonso will push on now. Albon will try and stay with him though.
Now this
Here we
was
go
at
then.
turn 1. They
Alonso,
decided to give it a
DRS,
go.
up into T1, and as I say, got his elbows out a little bit here.
Up to 12th and sniffing
Although I
at
say
those
that,
points places.
Albon was behind him, so actually he didn't. Albon just drifted out wide. So Fernando's up to 12th, 4 seconds to Ocon. But it's still 8 seconds off 8th place, so I don't think he's got enough pace to get to the points. Okay, Alonso is now caught Esteban Ocon, who's really dropped off the base. Not only caught him, Fernando is through then. And Ocon continues his trip down the grid, unfortunately.
Next car is Max.
So Alonso P11 now, but he's 5 seconds off Hamilton. He'll have Ocon challenging him again shortly.
Okay, keep it clean. Focus on the
Ricciardo
pace.
is having a go back for the lead here on Max Verstappen. And we've got the lead, and now might be the moment to use this tyre difference.
Lift off required.
We've got 13% margin, so Danny Rick can really attack now. He's got full battery, he's got 0.3 fuel surplus to use as well. So we are going to push now with Daniel Ricciardo and look to win this sprint race in COTA, and another step towards him becoming the World Drivers' Champion then. Max Verstappen has the DRS, so he's going to be very close to us here.
Update on tires.
I'm going to try and dump a bit of the battery here. That might keep us ahead, but it's only half a second, so Max can have a good chance through here. And here he comes, but we're going to continue to push and battle. Can we stay in the lead? We're going to be side by side. We're still pushing. We retain the lead.
4 more laps.
Hulkenberg and the two RBs are on us as well here.
Max coming now.
And Max is down to 39%, so Max might have problems holding on to P2 here. Danny Rick is starting to push then. Max Verstappen, 7 temps, 8 temps. He's got to remain in within a second to keep the DRS on the next DRS straight. But he's falling even further behind. Here's the detection zone. I think he'll just about have it, Max. He will have DRS, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move. There is. It's 1.1 seconds. Alonso has kept ahead of Ocon for now. But Danny Rick maintains the lead then. It's 7 temps. Now this is a good opportunity to really push. Tyres at 50%. We've got such a margin on the rest of these guys. This is looking really good for Daniel Ricciardo. Now it's over a second, so if Max loses DRS, I think that's going to be it. He's close, but I don't think he's close enough. He's about to lose the DRS's Max Verstappen, and he's going to be under pressure from the sister team, the RBs, as Hulkenberg and Tsunoda both have DRS. Here comes Hulkenberg. He's having a look on the inside of Max. Looks to be quite a bit back, but he's still going to try it. And Hulkenberg is through then, so goes from bad to worse. Verstappen was leading. Now Hulkenberg passed him, although Max isn't going to give that up. He's going to continue to battle, but there's not going to be room for 2 through there. So now it's a battle for Max, Hulkenberg and Tsunoda for the podium here. But Ricciardo's got a 2-second lead now, and he's well on his way to winning this sprint race.
And try to cool down the tires while you can. It's flatly coming up.
Got a lock up in the background there. That was Ocon. Oh, Ocon, what a nightmare he's had.
Let's see what happened there.
Just saw that in the
Here we are then,
background.
looking at turn 12.
Ocon now down to 14. Where did he start? Fourth, was it? Or third, Ocon? What a nightmare race.
And it was just too late.
But Ricciardo has ended up with a 4.7 second lead. We managed that fight with Verstappen. Well, we used Verstappen, really. We used his DRS to manage our tyres. And then in the closing stages, we've pulled away. And it looks also very easy. 4.7 seconds the lead. Tsunoda second, Hülkenberg third. And the RB's safe from Verstappen in DRS. So Verstappen isn't even going to get on the podium here. Alonso up to P11. Started last, so 11 places gained. But was always sort of 8 seconds off the points. He's going to finish, yeah, about 10 seconds off the points. So did look unrealistic to get the points, but still a good recovery drive from Fernando. But Ricciardo is going to win it. Ocon looks like he is going to get home on those tyres somehow. If that was me, whenever I hit 20%, I get an automatic puncture, but the AI seem to be getting away with it. Ricciardo, though, here we go. The final corner. It looks pretty good, to be fair. It looks good for a long time, and it is good as Daniel Ricciardo runs out of fuel there. But he has won in COTA. Tsunoda P2, Hülkenberg P3. There we go, Ricciardo.
So when you stop
He's just
the car,
so happy with his performance, he's going to park it there.
Got the message on the dash,
And that is going to be it. Alonso, Albon getting close to him, but he's going to hold on for P11 as he's going to pass his teammate here. Ocon. Tyres do hold out at 17%. Don't know how he's managed that, but he has. But it's Ricciardo that wins the sprint. It's Tsunoda second and Hülkenberg P3. Here we have it then. Full classification. Ricciardo wins it up 3 and Tsunoda up 4 to claim P2. Hülkenberg third. Max Verstappen drops from pole to 4th. Disappointing from Max in the end. Lando Norris 5th. Oscar Piastri 6th. Sainz 7th. The Ferrari and Leclerc going backwards down 6th to 8th. Holds on for a point. Bottas 9th. And Hamilton rounds out the top 10. As we saw Alonso up 11 places. So a good drive, but not enough to get into the top 8 and score points. But let's head now to full qualifying. Hopefully Alonso fares better there. Right, let's get them out straight away. Hopefully we'll have a better Q1 than we had SQ1, certainly for Fernando Alonso. All depends what's coming out now, and we should be good. That should be absolutely perfect this time. Alonso 32.1.
That's negative.
Ricciardo 32.4. I think we'll be okay with that. Okay, 2 minutes to go. Ricciardo is going down the order a little bit, down to 10th, but I think we're going to be okay here. Second flag, and we are going to be good indeed. No surprises in the bottom 6. Ocon not repeating his sprint qualifying, and he's out. And Max is going to take a penalty for the full race, so Max will probably be well and truly out of this Drivers' Championship. Yeah, as we saw, Ocon, great work in sprint qualifying, not so much in full qualifying. He's knocked out in Q1. Let's jump in to Q2. Straight back out again then in Q2. And again, traffic looks okay. Might catch Hülkenberg, but I think it was on the straight, so it should be good. Although half a second for Alonso, so we've got to be mindful of that. We have gone quicker, though, in those second runs. Under a minute to go, then. I think we're going to be safe just about with Fernando. We are not safe with Fernando. We thought we were going to be safe, but we're not. Oh, we've messed it up again for Fernando. Really not doing good work for Fernando here today, are we? Fernando Alonso knocked out then in Q2. He will start 12th. Here we go then. Danny Rick then. This is going to be our last lap, our main flying lap, because we used a scrub set of softs on that first run, but it doesn't always work out to be quicker, so we'll see how we go. Hopefully, we're going to see at least green sectors down here. A purple would be very nice. Just noticed that Alex Albon in the Aston Martin, which is a surprise in this season, they've not been that high, if at all, in the whole 3 years of this series. So Albon, with an absolute stonking lap. We did see Ocon put it in P4 in the sprint, and then he dropped down to about 14th. So I think some drivers benefiting from a tow. But Ricciardo, he's not getting a tow, but he has got a purple first sector. So that's very nice indeed. So Danny Rick, could he be on his way to pole here? Piastri is purple through the middle sector and puts it on provisional pole. Oscar Piastri has finished then. Mercedes getting out of the way, so some have finished here. And we go green through the middle sector, so this looks like it might be tight. Some other drivers across the line now. Norris only P6, 6th tenths off his teammate. Disappointing for him. Sainz has finished as well, 1.1 seconds back. Tsunoda puts it on provisional pole. He jumps Piastri then. Ricciardo gets a tiny little bit of toe there, I think, off one of the Mercs. Where is this going to put Daniel Ricciardo then? P1 by 700ths of a second. We've not been on pole for a long time. And I wasn't expecting pole here. Albon's on a flyer, but I don't think he's improving. I think he definitely got a toe on that first lap because he's nowhere near on the second. But Albon in an Aston in P5, they will certainly take that. But Ricciardo delivers a perfect lap to go P1. And Ricciardo's got such a healthy lead in the Drivers' Championship now because his two main... well, there's three contenders, Yuki Tsunoda, Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso. Max Verstappen took himself and Alonso out in the last race in Singapore, and Tsunoda finished below him because he took a grid penalty. So it's looking really good now for Ricciardo to become a World Drivers' Champion. But he's on pole. Yuki Tsunoda is P2, very close between those two. Oscar Piastri third. Max Verstappen is fourth, but he's going to take a grid penalty. Albon 5th, so he'll actually start 4th, so very high for an Aston Martin in 2026. Hamilton 6th, Lando Norris 7th, and then we have got Valtteri Bottas 8th, Sainz 9th, and Russell rounds out the top 10. As I say, Alonso, we got bogged down in traffic, just all went wrong for us in Q2, so he's going to start this one in P12. Right, let us jump into some strategy then. Right, okay, so Ricciardo starts in P1. We're going to go a two-stop, hards until lap 25, then mediums, finish on the softs. Alonso, we're going to go free-stopper, very aggressive on the first stint. Going to be in by lap 10, then on never settle softs till lap 23, then mediums. So, very different strategy for our two drivers. Alonso, we're trying to get some clean air and hopefully use the pace for a big undercut early on. But let's see how we go then as we start this full race in COTA. Okay, so Ricciardo's going to start on pole. He's going to be on the hard tyres, though. Looks like it's Yuki on the hards as well, I think, there. Looks like he is. Oh, we're very slow. We are very slow off the start there. That was a really poor start. So Yuki is indeed on the hards, but Ricciardo had an absolute awful start there. And Yuki jumps us straight away then into first place. But Ricciardo on the inside here. Can't really fit two through there, and Yuki's going to have to concede. And get away with that. That was a very poor start from Danny Rick. So tyres, yeah, Yuki on the hards, Piastri softs, Albon hard, Hamilton softs. Not many medium runners in this first stint. A mixture of softs and hards, and then a few more mediums towards the back. But Ricciardo leads then. Alonso P12. Make that P11 as he's making his way past George Russell then.
Okay.
Keep that position if you can, please.
So Alonso's going to go very aggressive on this first stint and hopefully get a nice undercut. He should get nice clean air when he stops. And Fernando going for another move here. But Hulkenberg is going to stay on the inside here for these two right-handers. And yeah, we have to concede that one. Alright, Ricciardo continues to push. Alonso is back past Hulkenberg, so that did continue. And Alonso has got it done. GR, hey, how's it going? How's it going, buddy? Hope you're well. And there we go, as I say, Alonso. Well, we came off it there, that two right-handers, but looks like Alonso through the left-hander here. Nice and aggressive. And he's past Hulkenberg. So Alonso, good start, up 2 on the first lap.
DRS is active.
Ricciardo's going to come under pressure here from Yuki Tsunoda.
So Bottas ahead. Car behind is Hulkenberg.
But he holds on to it for now. Right, Alonso.
Yep, understood.
I'm so addicted to this game. Good to hear. Just want to hop in and say I love all the videos, man. Keep up. Great stuff. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the support. Right, so Ricciardo, we're just going to start to manage a bit here.
I'm really sorry, we need a bit of lift off where you can.
So we're going to be losing out here to Yuki, especially on this DRS. We may just have to use a bit of battery so we don't lose out on Piastri as well. Don't mind losing out to Yuki, as long as we can keep in the DRS. And there goes Yuki Tsunoda. And Alonso is past Bottas, so Alonso up to P9. He might even be up to P8. I wish we weren't getting this angle, and we're not. There we go. Oh, dear. Braked a lot later and just about stopped in time.
Let's go.
But I think he might already be past Sainz as well. He is, and here comes Piastri on Ricciardo. And we see Alonso in the background. He is past Carlos Sainz. So Alonso's having a great time so far early on. Ricciardo, oh my god, Yuki is really pushing away. That's what we don't want.
Overtake available.
Ricciardo having to push a lot harder than we want to here because Yuki, as I say, is bolted. Really pushing on his tyres, Yuki. Right, as Oscar gets past us, we'll just settle back down and hopefully stay with Oscar this time.
Understood.
Just head down.
Fernando is already past Lando Norris.
Did an excellent job.
And he's potentially looking at a move on Verstappen here. Alonso is being very aggressive in this opening stint, and he's got to be because he's going to probably make an extra pit stop than all of these. But another good move from Fernando then.
Yes. Let's go.
The Spaniard is very happy in there. Is he going to make a move on Verstappen here? It's got to be late. It is late. Fernando Alonso is really pushing in the early stages here in COTA. He's going to have to hang around these two right-handers, but he'll get inside here, but it's already done. And Fernando is up to P6, up 6 places in the opening 4 laps.
Okay, well done.
But Ricciardo has dropped back again here. Hopefully the pace will come back to us later on. But Alonso can't make any inroads and then ahead of him, and he's got Carlos Sainz continuing to push him, and here comes Sainz again a long way back. We might be bogged down behind Hamilton there.
Okay, head down. We keep focusing.
Albon again back past Ricciardo. Right, this doesn't really matter too much with Sainz now because we're about to come into the pits, but Sainz has finally passed us, but looking good because Sainz is he's only on 67% on his softs. Piastri on 57%. I know Hamilton's on 70%, but Sainz is looking quicker.
Pit lane.
Right, Alonso pits then, very early. That was the intention. Maybe a lap earlier than we wanted, though. Let's hope for a nice clean stop. No, it's not. It's a very slow rear left.
How much he lost on the pit
2
stop?
seconds slower than we wanted.
Now, there's been an issue in the pits.
I think we will be dead last here. In a way, that's fine, because at least we've got some clean air for a couple of seconds. Just attack, get those tyres up to temp. He's 4 seconds off the back markers.
Gap 2.6.
Ricciardo, 4.5 seconds off the lead. Ricciardo's going to use most of that battery here. We're going to have to push these tyres because I need to try and break this DRS, but we just cannot get away from him. Alex Albon is stinking our race out, and that has just absolutely wrecked what we're trying to do there. Alex Albon forces out wide as Lawson gets a mechanical fault.
Yep. This is my pace.
Mokatari, sorry if I'm butchering that. Hey, how's it going? Ah, that is absolute. That's pain from Albon. We might have to change this here.
Yeah.
What? It's really too early to come in, isn't it? Unless we switch. Unless we switch to a free stopper as well. Hold on, let me have a look at this. It'll be slower, but it'll get us out of traffic. It'll be slower, but it would get us out of traffic. So let's just wait and see. Right, Alonso. Onto the back of K-Mag here then. Ricciardo's getting past Hulkenberg, or Hulkenberg got him, and now he's getting him back. What lap would that now be? Lap 15. So I think I'm going to bring Ricciardo in earlier. And Alonso should make light work then of K-Mag. Oh yeah, I tried it once in Vegas, didn't work for me. Jacob Alonso doing bad again. Yeah, he qualified P12. He had traffic, and we've just gone for an early stop, so might work out for him. Let's wait and see. He's on a 3-stopper, so slightly different, although we're going to convert Ricciardo to a 3-stopper now as well. Right, Alonso, this is the problem. Come on, he's got to be aggressive here.
No problem.
And he is. That's one done. Zhou. Now it's his teammate Lawson. Zhou's teammate Lawson, our old teammate. The man Alonso replaced, he's not really gaining significantly there. Is he going to go for a lunge? No is the answer to that. Courtney, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. I'm so hyped for the weekend. Yes, indeed. Formula 1 is back. And Alonso is past Fittipaldi there. And he's just about going to get DRS on Lawson here.
Did just get DRS.
Understood.
Bit too far back, maybe? Just come away from that. Yes, we're a little bit too far back. Right, Magnussen's in the pits. Ricciardo's couple more laps, then we'll get him in for the pits. Frederick, thanks for the follow. Oh, and in the background,
Car is off.
I think that was Bottas,
Yellow's ahead.
the reigning world champion in this
There's
universe.
a yellow flag now.
Bottas with a Spinalowski there. Lights up the rears. And there we go. And Hamilton stays out for another lap. That's quite handy, actually. Sainz pits. Right, let's hope for a better pit stop here. Ocon's got a mechanical fault. 2.1, that's better. We'll take that.
Focus on reaction time and no full throttle before pit exit.
Danny Rick's going to be ahead of Zhou here. You'd like to think. There goes his teammate. So Alonso has very much got the undercut on him. Teo Pourchaire, Alonso is saying see you never. And he's forced Teo out very wide. And up to 12th. Ricciardo did get out ahead of Zhou. But yeah, Alonso's got an undercut done on Danny Rick there. So Daniel Ricciardo started on pole. Alonso started P12 where he runs now. But he's actually ahead of his teammate Danny Rick. Danny Rick will have a better tyre offset though. Well, that's not worked out too well so far for Daniel Ricciardo, has it? So yeah, Sainz, Piastri from the leaders have stopped and they're ahead of Alonso. Now Hamilton and Leclerc are in. And that's going to be timed well for Ferrari, but will Ricciardo get the undercut here on Hamilton? Alonso should be ahead of Hamilton. There we go. Alonso is clear of both Ferraris. As Gasly pits and got out of the way. And Ricciardo is going to get the undercut done on Hamilton. So that does work out for Ricciardo. So who's yet to stop here? The top 6 yet to stop. Well, I don't know. He's nearly at the top of the hill. Alonso and Ricciardo should be past him. And Hamilton is. What about Leclerc? No, he'll be out in front of Leclerc. All right, Alonso's going to have to get out of the way here for Ricciardo, really. Don't lose too much time doing it, though. There we go. This is the problem. When you ask them to get out of the way, you can lose
Overtake available.
so much time, but we should keep DRS on our teammate just about there. So that's just about worked out. All right, we need to get past this Merc of Russell, who's yet to stop. I think Verstappen, Norris, and Russell all going to be in the end of this lap.
Understood.
I want your honest opinion about this. If you had to bring one legend into Lotus in their prime, who would it be?
Okay, good job.
I'd bring back a man that's already been there in Senna. It's got to be Senna.
Understood.
I'm trying to watch both of this, but I think this is going to be job done for Hamilton. He's through. 2.1, that's better. Fernando's first stop was very slow. So yeah, Hamilton does get past us. We'll try and stick with him. Apparently we're going to be racing Russell, who's down in 15th. Oh, that is frustrating because we're going to be behind all of these. We just stay out. Head of Hulkenberg and Teo Porcher. Russell's on the mediums as well, so this is where it's going to be a little bit harder for Fernando.
Try to cool down the tires again when you can.
And Ricciardo is certainly not giving this up on Lewis, and he's back through. And we've got Sainz only 2.7 seconds up the road. So it's not a million miles away as Carlos Sainz, and we've got a bit of battery to play with here. On Fernando, round the outside. This would be lovely on Russell, and we'll get a bit of a toe off Perez there, and that's going to work wonders for us. George Russell picked off, and we've got Liam Lawson. I feel it's a bit of the slower car here. But this was a lovely move from Fernando. I think George was having a look at the overtake and just left the outside open, and Fernando said, "Thank you very much." And there we go. He should be getting DRS now on Perez, I believe it is. Might be a bit too far back, though. Yeah, we were. Well, this kind of gap is just killing us at the moment. Hamilton is just staying in that DRS, isn't he? We can't shake him off.
Hamilton will have DRS.
But we have now hopefully got into the DRS of Sainz, which gives us a bit of protection. Alonso is now hopefully going to make that move on Perez, and he does. So Alonso's back to where he started this race in P12. Right, here comes Ricciardo then. He gets out of that battle then. We believe he's going to have a nice gap ahead of Ocon, I believe we said. And Alonso is repassed by Russell. That's annoying. It's 2.1 seconds stop again, which is good.
Gap 3.5.
Well, this battle just means it's being prolonged trying to catch Ocon. And there's the gap we set ahead of Ocon. So that's worked out well, that stint for Ricciardo. As Piastri is back into the pits.
We now have Ocon behind us.
And he's back on another set of hards. So Piastri is going to the end on those hards.
Don't worry.
Ricciardo should be ahead of him. Ricciardo might be ahead of Charles Leclerc as well. As we have DRS on the inside, Leclerc harvesting, and Ricciardo is through into P8, and we are clear of Piastri there. And Alonso is nearly onto the DRS of Ocon.
Let's try to see what we can do.
Use a bit of battery there.
You can use overtake.
Is he going to go on the inside here? This would be mega, because we'll get the DRS on Albon. We might be able to get 2 for 1 here. We love a 2 for 1 on a Tuesday. Ricciardo, past Bottas, inside of Alex Albon. And that is job done. Great work from the Honey Badger then, up to P6. As we jump back to Alonso, and he's already past Ocon. That's good work there.
Next car is...
Ricciardo's already there. And he's forcing Hamilton out. Ricciardo got there in blistering speed. Hamilton's still on those hard tyres.
Okay, good job. So we are P5. Okay, next one is Norris.
There we go. We got up to Hamilton very quickly. And again, the corner before the start-finish straight on the inside. Force him out, and we get DRS on Lando. So Ricciardo making some aggressive overtakes here. He's up to P5. Next is Lando. Ricciardo going well now, but there'll be a few here that are not stopping again, and Ricciardo's got to stop again. Sainz, well, I think Tsunoda, Sainz, Verstappen. I think actually all the top 4 are stopping again.
Keep the head down.
In all honesty. And here goes Ricciardo again before the DRS zone, so he'll get the DRS to pull away again.
It should help you.
So this is working very nicely for Ricciardo. There we go. DRS. Use a bit of deployment as well. Mathematically, Yuki could still win the Drivers' Championship off Daniel Ricciardo. He's a long way back, though. Ricciardo then on Max Verstappen. And we are through into P3. We're going to use a bit of battery again. Try and push this gap. And Sainz pits this lap. So Carlos Sainz is in. Ricciardo, we just want to break this DRS to Max. Max is just about going to get it on this straight. We should see him gaining in the background. So Alonso, this will be his final stop, but I think points are going to be a struggle for him tonight. Tsunoda, 18 seconds in the lead. Tsunoda's nearly got a pit stop on the whole grid. 2.1. Are we liking a 2.1 today? Yeah, Yuki is going to have to stop soon, but 18 seconds. Yuki can do what he wants. Yuki's got this wrapped up, I feel, unless there's a safety car or a red flag. Which are quite rare here, but we have had them before. Russell pits behind us, so we haven't got to worry about George attacking us.
P11.
And we're back into P11. We're only 2.8 behind Leclerc, though. Leclerc on the hards.
Now the car behind. Gap behind at 1.7.
And 7 seconds.
17 laps remaining.
Up to 7th might be achievable for Alonso. Come on, we need a nice clean stop. It's going to be touch and go with Bottas here, so it must be 2.4 or under, really. It's slow. Oh, it's going to be awfully slow. No, we've not had one of these for ages.
Okay.
No, why? Why now, pit crew? We've had pit issues, but they've normally been a second or 2 seconds when we've had them. Not a good old 6-second delay. We've got a yellow flag somewhere now. And that has cost us. We've been clear of those, definitely.
Copy.
Teo Portier spins Alonso's pass. That has really cost us there, the pit crew. Leclerc. Yeah, I thought it was ERS. He was just so slow. You could tell there's no deployment. All right, Ricciardo's got it all to do here then.
11 laps to go, 11 laps.
Oh, we would have been ahead of these. And we'd had 11 seconds to close down for Verstappen and crew.
Tires are in a good place.
Understood.
Ricciardo, we're using quite a bit of the battery here, but if we can get this done, we can. Through on Alex Albon, who's still in the points, is Albon. Now we're right behind Hamilton. We seem to have battled Hamilton quite a bit in this race.
Alrighty.
Right behind the gearbox of Hamilton.
Very good job.
It'll be too far back there, though, to get the job done. Haven't got much battery is the only issue. This is where we went for it on Albon. Into this final corner.
Okay,
we are going for it. He is going for it again. And he's forced Hamilton out again. I believe we've done that earlier in the race. Got DRS now. But we've used all the battery. But that was key. Just harvest into there. There we go.
Good job.
Now we're on to Bottas.
Bottas, by the way.
And Ricciardo got DRS then on Bottas.
Behind us.
Bottas, a lot of deployment out of there.
Head back down, we stay in the rhythm.
Ricciardo on the inside then, and Valtteri Bottas trying to make the move, and we are through then into P5. But I think we've got work to do if we're to hold on to this.
Oh, we can cancel lift off.
There we go, Alonso with Leclerc all over him again now. So that is just what it is. That battle is going to continue. But Ricciardo is only 1.4 off Piastri here. Absolutely flying now. Got a yellow flag. Not seeing anything major there. Oh, it's Leclerc.
Right, we can take a look now.
Now we're going to have some respite. Leclerc, who's been really hounding Alonso.
And the car fails to respond.
I think that will be the end of that.
Not too much damage to the tyres.
Makes a regular Charles a mistake there, and he's dropped 4 seconds on Fernando. And Fernando is now near enough in Albon's DRS, so Alonso
Next will be Piastri.
should move up to P9 now in this race. Don't think there's any more for him to have. But it's all about this moment here. Ricciardo on Oscar Piastri for P4. As we're gaining the slipstream and the DRS, we move to the inside. And Daniel Ricciardo is going to claim P4 here. And it's now just 2.3 to Sainz. But Max Verstappen has opened up a 5-second gap.
We are currently P4.
So P2 might be a difficulty. Sainz approaching Fittipaldi here. Ricciardo really gaining there. Significant gain using that battery. Are we going to go for it here then? Andy Rick through onto Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz is going to stay in this, I think. No, he can't. And Ricciardo is through then to P3 and a podium place. It's 4 seconds to Max Verstappen though. And I think that's going to be a bit too far to manage that. But we'll see. We'll give it a good push here at the end. What's Max's tyres? He's got 42%, so he's got a bit of tyre life. Yuki Tsunoda, 25 seconds in the lead. Absolute filthy domination from Yuki. Are we going to pick up DRS off the back marker here? And will Fittipaldi get out of the way nicely? We do pick up DRS. He does get out of the way nicely. That helps.
2 more laps.
That helps us on our way.
Charge on now.
Sainz has been dispatched. It's 2.8 seconds now to Max. Back up to 3. Alonso doesn't need to push. He's secured P9. He's not going to go any further. Verstappen is obviously starting to push a little bit on whatever he saved. Don't think we're going to have enough of it.
No concern on tyre wear.
Just don't think we're going to reach him quick enough because we kind of need to be in his gearbox now to give us any chance on the last lap. There is Max though. We can see him. He's not too far away. It's 2.4 seconds. Let's rinse some battery out of here. But we need to be with him on that DRS straight that we're on now on the final lap, and I don't think we're going to reach him in time. There he is. Another lap. I think we could have had it. Yuki Tsunoda is starting the final lap. It's 2.4 seconds here to Max Verstappen. 2.3. 2 seconds. 1.9.
Okay, Sainz coming now.
1.8. We're taking time off him all the time here.
We just keep the head down on the way to as best as we can, okay?
Here Hamlin coaching Ricciardo towards the end here. Battery is gone.
Charge on.
It's 1.8, 1.9. We're going to have to use whatever we've got in this battery.
You've got everything. Press on
This is going to be like Monaco when we chased down Max in Monaco and he survived. I think it's going to happen again here. Because we need to be in the DRS on that zone and we're not going to get there. He's going to survive. Max Verstappen's going to survive, isn't he? Pulled 5 seconds on Sainz though.
No problem.
Yeah, he's going to survive. It's only 1.9. There he is. We are getting closer, but it's not going to be close enough. Yuki Tsunoda must be about to finish the race. Such is his dominance. He is indeed. Yuki Tsunoda, by nearly 30 seconds, is going to win here in COTA. Absolute domination from the RB man. Tsunoda wins it. And Ricciardo really pushed at the end. I think we've done a really good job to get back to the podium. But it's not going to be enough to get Max Verstappen. It pushed hard at the end. The tyres have reached the cliff now. We got within 2 seconds of Max Verstappen, but he is going to hold on for P2. And it's not good news for Alonso because Tsunoda and Verstappen, he's in amongst those. But Ricciardo should still have a healthy championship lead. We'll see it shortly, but Ricciardo crosses the line then, and it's P3 for the Honey Badger here in COTA. Started on pole. I don't know if we really had the race pace, so P3 I think we'll take.
Nice one, guys.
And Alonso, we mixed up his strategy. We went for something a little bit different, and maybe it worked. He started P12 and he finishes P9, so he's up 3 places and he gets 2 points. Only he'll be disappointed, and that is very much his World Driver Championship for a 3rd time dream well and truly over. But it's Tsunoda that wins it, dominated with a pit stop in hand. Verstappen 2nd and Ricciardo P3. Honey Badger is on the podium.
He adds another podium to his tally.
He'll be very happy with that. But Yuki Tsunoda, he absolutely dominated here in COTA. Let's see then, full classification. Yuki Tsunoda up 1 to win it. Max up 5. Good drive from him. Ricciardo, as I say, started on pole, down 2. That hard tyre on the first stint didn't help, and then he was forced out in a battle with, I believe it was Albon, where we lost 4 or 5 places. That really cost us, and then we tried a different strategy. So I don't think we could have challenged Yuki. We were struggling to challenge Yuki and Piastri at the time. Piastri finished 5th, but yeah, I think maybe 2nd was the maximum, but we finished 3rd. Sainz 4th, Piastri 5th, Bottas 6th. That's a good result for him. Hamilton 7th, Lando Norris 8th. Alonso, as I say, started 12th, and he's up 3 places to 9th. And Albon started 4th, which was, yeah, very strange to see an Aston Martin that high, but he does hold on for a point at least. And Charles Leclerc, with that lockup costing him, he might have been able to get both ourselves and Albon, but costly error at the end. So let's see what this driver championship is now looking like. As I say, healthy lead for Daniel Ricciardo, but Yuki Tsunoda has done good work across this sprint weekend, 33 points, so he takes 10 points out of that. Alonso, absolutely disgusting weekend, only 2 points, no points in the sprint, and only 2 in the full race. So what is Yuki off? Is that 64 points, I believe that is? The margin is 64 points with 5 to go. And you'd have to say he's the only challenger now, because Fernando is a long way back, isn't he? 87 points, I make that. Is my quick maths correct? 87 points, I believe Fernando's back. So with 5 races to go, that's going to be too much. And Verstappen will be 89 points back. So I think it's now a 2-horse race between Ricciardo and Tsunoda. And if Tsunoda has got that pace to the end, this championship might not be over. May not be over at all. What did I then say? It was 64 points. 5 races to go. 7-point margin. So what's that? 21, 28, 35. The difference if Ricciardo finished 2nd and Tsunoda 1st every race would be 35 points, I believe. So it doesn't always work out like that. So I think Tsunoda's still in with a shot, but I think Fernando Alonso and everyone else is now too far back. So looks like it's going to be Ricciardo or Tsunoda, the ex-RB teammate. One of those will be the 2026 World Champion. Constructors haven't had a great weekend, mainly due to Fernando Alonso's lack of performance. However, we have had a healthy lead in this, and the gap, the more maths for me to do now, is 132 points I'm making that. But still, it's not all over. It is a lot, but, you know, if we have another weekend where, you know, if we have a couple of retirements one weekend, you can easily gain 40 points. So it's looking pretty good, you'd have to say, with 5 races to go. But we've still got to get another couple of results just to really make sure of that. But looking good for us for the constructors. Very close between Red Bull and the sister team. McLaren have dropped off a little bit now. So I think it's going to be between Red Bull and RB for 2nd. McLaren look like they'll end up in 4th. Ferrari have got 5th. Mercedes have been slightly taking points out of them. Again, another 1 point, but they're not taking enough out of them. So it looks like Ferrari 5th, Mercedes 6th. And then we've still got this real old battle on for 7th, and Aston Martin gain another point there between Haas on 16 in 7th, Aston Martin on 13 points in 8th, Williams with 11 in 9th, and Audi with 7. So there's only 9 points between those 4 teams. So there's still a lot to play for there. Did we get any points in the pit stops? We did for one of them, which was 1 point. And we remain in 5th on that, although RB do some good work. So we should finish at least in the top 7 on that one.